Fantastic Four: First Steps comes out in July, and I think it's probably going to be my favorite movie of the year. Only one teaser has come out so far, but I've rewatched it multiple times and I get chills every time. The music, the cinematography, the sets, the effects, everything is just making me even more excited for this movie. When I was little, I didn't like superhero movies. I was more of a My Little Pony girl, but whenever the original Fantastic Four movies would be on TV, I always remember absolutely loving Ben Grimm the Thing. He was really the first Marvel character I ever truly loved. Whenever those movies were playing in my house, I would pretty much only look up when Ben was on screen. Something about him as a character I really just latched onto as a young kid. I'm not exactly sure why, but as I look back, I realize it's probably because he felt like the big brother I never had. He was just such a comforting character to me, and I remember even as a kid being able to recognize his struggles and empathize with him. While all of the Fantastic Four have their struggles, Ben's is more unavoidable, as he can't live without being perceived differently than he used to be. I was probably like 4 years old, and something about him still got through to me. Ben is a huge reason why I'm more excited for this movie than any other movie coming out this year. As soon as the trailer came out and I saw that first scene of Ben trying the soup, I almost burst into tears because something about seeing him, such a comforting character to me, in the MCU, which has become a huge source of comfort for me, just made me so emotional. And the way Evan Moss-Bachrach acts as Ben is just perfect to me, even though we haven't seen much yet. He truly gets this character and is putting everything into playing him, which is something that I really appreciate, as I feel like a lot of actors probably would just brush this role under the rug as just a CGI role, but Ben really is more than that, and Evan Moss-Bachrach seems to really understand that. This shot of Ben looking at his reflection is my favorite of the whole teaser. Pedro Pascal is also just born to play a 60s scientist/astronaut. And Joseph Quinn looks like he's going to bring so much fun and yet endearing energy to the movie. His powers look so awesome. And Vanessa Kirby is fully invested in this role. Also, Sue's powers look so cool. I'm a little nervous to see how Reed's powers are going to look, as stretching powers can be hard to make look good, as we've seen time and time again, but I think Marvel is really determined to make this movie as good as it can possibly be, so I'm not too nervous. Empire Magazine and Entertainment Weekly both just put out articles about the film. In Empire's article, they said that the movie will be a 60s space race movie, which, yes, but what got me most excited was that they said the movie was shot with vintage lenses and other practical elements such as miniatures and sets. As someone who is very obsessed with the look that vintage lenses give movies, as someone who wants to shoot my own films with vintage lenses one day, this made me very excited to see. One of my dreams is to shoot a film with vintage lenses, and another of my dreams is to work on a Marvel movie, so to see that a Marvel movie is being made with vintage lenses is really freaking cool. Before these articles came out, I was already obsessed with the retro-futurist 60s of the world the Fantastic Four live in, but reading these articles made me even more obsessed. The director Matt Shakman said that two of the major visual references were 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the original Fantastic Four comics drawn by Jack Kirby. It might seem obvious that the movie would take visual reference from the comics, but the Fantastic Four have been adapted into the movie sphere before, and in those films they were made to fit in modern times, while Shakman has opted to adjust to the time of their origin. This makes them feel distinct and more at home. The new photos that came out with the Entertainment Weekly article are also incredibly exciting in terms of costume design. We get a closer look at the Fantastic Four's astronaut suits, which just look stunning with their combination of white and blue. The yellow visors are so eye-catching too. It's so interesting to look at the differing details between Ben's suit as opposed to the rest of the team's. His helmet is different with a large clear window in the front as opposed to the yellow visor the rest of them have. I'm also completely in love with Sue's wardrobe in this movie. One photo shows her with a black and white polka dotted headband, a red shirt, and a black and white skirt, which is so pretty looking. I absolutely love vintage style. I love the blocky watch on her wrist, showing a bit of that retro futurism once again. A watch but with a more sleek, futuristic style. I want her outfit in this photo. I love the red and white coat, and the headband again on her head is such a cute look. I love the bigger jewelry, the defining rings on her hand, and the pearl earrings on her ears. I love the through line of circles used in her outfit on her coat and on her purse. It adds a bit of a more modern look to the vintage styling. And it really is vintage styling but with a retro-futurist flair that I just love. Shakman also directed WandaVision, and the retro style was pulled off so well there, so I'm very excited to see this film. The article also talks about the depth that Johnny will have in the movie, which I think is going to be really fun to see, as he's usually just a more like upbeat and like cool character, but I think it's going to be nice to see like the more emotional side to him. Another thing that I love so much is that the Thing is CGI, but he also uses motion capture, and they had like practical parts for Evan Ross Backrack to wear on set, which I think is so cool. And I just love the amount of care that's been being put into this character that I care so deeply about. So I'm very excited to see how it all comes together in the final product. The Fantastic Four will be in their own little corner of the MCU for now, which is going to give us time to get to know them and appreciate their distinctness from the bigger universe until the new Avengers movies. I think that's the right call for now. I'm excited to see them on their own and then get to know them a bit more with the others once Doomsday comes out next year, which I'm very excited about. But thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you think of the movie. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Are you neutral or anything? Or let me know. Just let me know. Yeah. And please subscribe if you want. I talk about pretty much anything I want to talk about, so it could be anything. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye.